Surfing session 163, 20 months into my surfing progression. In this video, I'm surfing in the swells from Hurricane Earl, which hit the Boston area September 2022. I went surfing for 2 hours with friends. There were also many other friendly surfers in the water whom I recognized and have gotten to know in the water. You know who you are. Thanks a lot. My goal today was to catch as many unbroken waves as possible, and then try to do a few turns. Positioning was key. Location, location, location. I was focused on trying to position myself at the right takeoff point, at the peak of where a wave was just about to break. I was very active, paddling around to position myself in the perfect spot to catch that wave. I had to look for white marks left by the white water from prior waves to show where the peaks were, and I also had to watch out for set waves, larger waves, that came in and would break out further into the ocean. So in order to position myself where those waves were breaking, I had to paddle to the left, to the right, paddle outbound and inbound as well, so it was a lot of work. Once the wave came, I tried to pop up at the top of the wave as I caught it and initiate a few turns as soon as possible. I would first begin with a bottom turn to both the left and the right. Then I would try to watch the wave and try to respond to it. This means I would either do a top turn or a cut back, depending on what I saw in the wave. One key skill I'm working on is to look where I'm going rather than looking down at the tip of my surfboard, especially when I'm turning. If you look down at the tip of your surfboard, that tends to make the nose dip into the water. These waves were clean Aframe waves with offshore winds, and it was low tide. So that meant that the waves would approach with a defined peak that I could target for, and I could turn left or right. Then I could ride the wave down with a bottom turn, and the wave would continue to move forwards with its white water peeling accordingly. With more practice, I'm starting to feel a better sense of where I am surfing on the wave, and when to initiate the bottom turn, and also when to initiate the top turn or the cutback. Things are starting to move a little slower now. You know, when I first started surfing, everything was moving so fast, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with the wave. It was hard to paddle out through the water, through the white water, when I would go back up to the lineup. If I rode a wave into the beach, I had to paddle out again to catch another wave. So sometimes I would end my rides short when the waves started to close out on me. I've been building up a lot more paddling strength and stamina this year because I've been surfing as much as I can, even in small days or days that were windy. So this really has given me the stamina, so I was able to surf for 2 hours straight on a day like this. On one wave, I went to the left on a clean wave. I rode it down the line, but then I noticed that another surfer who caught the wave at the other end of the beach was headed my way. I don't think either of us dropped in on each other, but anyways, to avoid him, I initiated the cutback and reversed my direction in the other direction. I felt in control and rode the wave in as much as possible. After I dismounted my board, I waved to him and smiled to the other surfer to celebrate the party wave that we were both on, and also just make sure that he didn't think I dropped in on him. I was popping up well. My bottom turns were put me moving down the line quickly. My compressions and extensions and my backside top turns were working really well. On my front side top turns, I sometimes stalled. I noticed that that's happening here in this footage. I think it was because I was not rotating enough and possibly leaning too far on the back foot, which slows down the board. And perhaps I was also transitioning into a top turn too late. I'll work on those top turns a little bit more. I'm using a 9-foot 2-inch solid LHP. It's a high-performance longboard. This board has a 2+1 fin setup, and I recently replaced my 9-inch central fin with a shorter and more narrow 8-inch fin. This helps me turn better. With the side bites, I had thought that I had too much fin surface with the 9-inch central fin, so it was turning a lot better today. I also moved up the central fin as close to the inside edge of the fin box so that I could turn the surfboard better. On this day, I rode one of my longest waves ever, recorded by my Apple Watch. It was a 571-foot wave and 30 seconds long, so it was awesome. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click like, comment, or subscribe. Please share any friendly comments or tips in the comment section below. This is part of my surfing progression playlist on YouTube. Thanks.